So in this video clip, we'll go through the Cox-Ross-Rubinstein model and set up in Google Sheets and set up the code in such a way that it follows very closely the Espen Haug, the dynamic memory architecture that we would have observed in his VBA textbook. Okay, so the starting point here is just to set up the code. The code artifact, I'll provide a link to this below. But essentially what we're trying to do here is just demonstrate how we could implement a JavaScript function in Google Sheets. So I'll go Control C and I'll go to Google Sheets. So I'll set up a Google Sheet and leave a link to this sheet underneath the video clip. So I'll go Google Sheets in my Chrome browser. And again, I'm signed into my account here. So I'll just go in. And we have a Google Sheet. Okay, so I want to run the binomial model. I'm going to follow the approach here. We'll test the code with 4 steps and 25-step tree. And we'll demonstrate that the code also is consistent with broad temporal values that we can observe here in this table. So for a 15,000 step tree, with the parameter value set out as given, right? R equal to 3, sigma equal to 20%, dividend equal to 7%, the stock price 100, the exercise also 100, that would produce a value of $9.66, okay, for the American option. Okay, so we'll examine that from the perspective of an American call, and we'll verify that we can take the code that's available here. So I just copy, Control C, go into a blank untitled spreadsheet, right? So this is Google Sheets, and go to extensions, come down to app script, and then we'll paste the code in. We'll remove the code, the shell that will be that's sitting here already, and just Control V from the Google Colab, and I'll leave a link to that code underneath this video clip. Now, important here, we give this a name, so I could say binomial JavaScript, maybe JS or something, and I'll just note that I'm following an IJ architecture similar to that proposed by Espen Haug. Right, now we need to give this a name and save it. And also I'll give the spreadsheet a name as well. So 17th of the 11th, 2024, and binomial Cox, Ross, and Rubinstein, right? 1979. Okay, so Rubinstein, Cox, Ross, Rubinstein. Okay, now to tee up our parameter values so that they're consistent with what we have here, we need an SKR. B is the difference between, it's not quite dividend yield, it's the interest rate, the risk-free rate, minus the dividend yield. That's B. Okay, so worth noting. So we need to get those parameter values and set up. We probably won't go up to 15,000 steps. It's a bit much, but we can do maybe 1,000 steps or 5,000 steps. Okay, and we'll do 4 steps and 15 steps as well. Okay, now to tee that up, I'm going to use pre-made values that I've already used. right? So I'm going to set out sugar. I'm going to copy these parameter inputs, Control C, and go back into our blank spreadsheet here, Control V. So what we're trying to do is take the parameter values that we set out here, S, K, R, B, sigma, T, N, and place them into the spreadsheet as given here. Now we need to raise this, maybe could start off with 1,000. Keep in mind that when we go into our code, our function follows this form. So it's CRR, and then the chronology of the variables is it American, European, call or put, the stock, the exercise, the maturity, the risk-free rate, the difference between the interest rate, the risk-free rate, and the dividend, the volatility, and the number of steps in our tree. Let's copy that, Control C, go back into our blank spreadsheet, Control V, and I'll Control V again, equal to Control V again, and then we'll map out here. Our first variable is A. Our second variable is for first variable is American. Second variable for call, it's denoting whether it's call or put, 100. The exercise is 100 also. The time period is 3 years. So here we have 1. Risk-free rate is 5B. Okay, let's go with these variables just so that we have the chronology in the correct order. Volatility is 20%, and then the number of steps in the tree we're going to set equal to 2,000, and let's run. Okay, now for a European option, the value here should be equal to the Black-Scholes value. So I'm familiar with these benchmark figures. So for a stock price of 100, exercise 100, time period 1 year, risk-free rate of 5%, where R negative Q, if the dividend is 0, B would be equal to R. So 5%, 20% volatility, 1,000 steps. Let's go to 5,000 steps, and we should get closer to 1045. And we might note, okay, and that was quite fast, relatively speaking. Okay, let's go for an American option. Because the dividend is 0, the American European option will be the same. And this is taking a little bit longer because it's American. And again, it's 1045, and that would be consistent with economic theory. Let's then go back to the values that we observed here from our binomial model. And the value we have here is 9.066, and at 15,000 steps. Okay, so if I snip these out, or just maybe even copy, Control C, and set those up in the spreadsheet. So we'll go below here, Control V, and then take our style referencing as before, Control C, Control V, and okay, let's reduce this to 10, be fast. And okay, so we have an American call, exercise is 100, the stock price is 100, exercise 100, the time period is 3 years, the risk-free rate is equal to 3%. So these are the broad temporal values, and we should get a value for the option of 9.066. Volatility is, so for B here being the difference between the risk-free rate and the dividend, is negative 0.04. and the volatility is 20%. And 10 steps in our tree, 886. Okay, let's put 1,000 steps in our tree. And we should get closer to the 966. Okay, let's go 5,000 steps, which is quite an amount of steps. 9.065, which is consistent with the value we have here with rounding. Okay, so that's okay. Now, can we verify that the result obtained here is consistent with, can we stress test this? I mean, in a sense, we have, in that the value that we observe here is consistent with Brody, the temple. Brody, the temple. We could change the value here to 90 and observe output. Let's try that again. 5.167 and go into our binomial. So for at a value of 90, 5.167. Okay, that's fine. And we can go 110 and run again and observe is the value close to, okay, 1444, 34, 1444, 3, and I presume 4, right? So we are getting quite an amount of consistency with this code. So the code looks as if it's working, operating without any hitch. Seems to be no major issues. Last thing we could do, which I had set up before, was I could take a very small tree. So I'll zoom out here to, all right, so we could take these parameter values of S, X, T, the interest, sigma, B, and N, a 4-step tree, and manually compute the stock prices. And then the terminal values of in the option price tree, the terminal values of the option, and then estimate the European value for a 4-step tree. So all these estimates here are performed using Cox-Ross-Rubinstein and manual tree, where I'm taking these parameter values as given. We can assume here that the dividend is 0, and we're looking at a European call option with 4 steps. When we multiply by A5, we're multiplying by U. And when we're multiplying by I5, I6, A6, should I say, it's 0.9. Okay, so the value that we're multiplying by here is we're taking this value and multiplying, and then multiplying by U again, and multiplying by U. So we're building the tree like this, essentially. So S gets multiplied by U, U squared, U cubed, and U to the power of 4. So each cell here corresponds to the nodes we have in the tree, and we build the tree manually. So to go from 100 to here, we're multiplying by D, which is obtained by taking D equal to 1 minus U. We'll check that. And I have that value here as well, verified in the estimation using the manual CRR code. But the manual estimation is actually performed here where it's now referenced based on these formulas. And we estimate the stock price tree, the terminal values of the options at the terminal nodes. These are the terminal nodes. And then we do perform the backward recursion for the European option using the P, which is the risk neutral probability of going up, times the previous period's option price, plus 1 minus P, the option value, uh, in the preceding period, in the period before. So in the backward recursion that we perform here, the value we obtain here, the 997, is consistent with the four-step tree. I do the same exercise again, four-step tree, but this time for the European put option. I perform the estimation using the function, the CRR function, using JavaScript, and manually working through the numbers here again. We can observe that the value here is consistent with the JavaScript, and for the American put option, the manual tree estimation that I estimate is consistent with the JavaScript code that I entered here in setting out the function, right? So the the code that we have developed here is the JavaScript code. Does not seem to present any problems. In fact, it's quite fast.